And this is a competitive Euro game where players are one of the big 5 meat packers out in the Union Stockyards back in 1865. And in this game, players are going to be steering the market in their favor, delegating tasks for their workers while paying them enough to avoid them going on strike as you try to manage your livestock and become the wealthiest packager in the world. And the centerpiece of this game seems to be the mechanisms around the way that the economy works, but then also the focus on historic accuracy. And in this game, all the livestock will cost the same for all players. And at the start of a round, an event card will be drawn that helps or harms all players. And then players are going to be taking turns performing their actions, trying to manage their livestock and build different facilities in order to process that livestock and try to get the most victory points. There's also a really interesting polyomino mechanism here where players will be gaining and spending different building cards in order to build buildings out on the shared grid. And this represents expanding the town as players build up new facilities. Each building comes with its own benefit that will give a permanent upgrade to the player that builds it, but you're also limited by the space on the board, so depending on the decisions of the other players and the remaining space, there may not be a place for you to build your building, so you really want to be careful when you are playing those cards. I also read through a few of these designer diaries, and it looks like there's a lot of attention to detail with this game, and even the building meeples in this game have some custom designs so that they are more representative of the types of buildings that you would have seen during that time. You can get a little bit of an idea of how the buildings work in this image here, but these are all with prototype components, and the actual buildings will look a lot cooler. I really love to see passion and polish put into a game, and when I see designers that are really meticulous with these little details, it usually ends up creating a really awesome experience. And it's those little details that can really make games feel like their theme matters and to make one game feel very different from another. At the end of the round, the livestock costs go up or down depending on the demand caused by the player's decisions, but the value of the livestock is completely dependent on their relative position in the market. So if there is more of a particular animal, that one's going to be worth less because the market is saturated with it. So players can try to use this to their advantage and control the amount of livestock that they have in order to manipulate the value of those livestock in the market. This designer only really has one other game published, so there is also a risk with newer designers, so of course do your own research. And I always recommend to read the rulebook or to try the game in a digital version to really understand if this is a game for you. But I have high hopes for this one, and it looks like the designer did a really great job.